The following video took place in the kitchen of Don, a young adult who had only recently purchased his own property. Him and his best friend Jackson had bought the house together after running a fairly successful business, of which they went on to sell. Its main usefulness was being close to college, but other than that, they might as well have stayed in their parents' homes. On the positive side, though, the house had no direct correlations to paranormal activity, which was a huge no-go for Don especially. He was a believer in the spiritual world, and was very relieved when his poltergeist-driven questions were denied. However, little did anybody know that he would become the first to experience something of that nature in the house. Strangely, if you paid very close attention, the chair moved by itself, which really frightened the duo after they looked back on the footage. It is also very clear that no rope or anything that could influence the chair to move was present, so this must have been the first sighting of a spirit within the house in years. We've explored the eerie and the unknown, but now it's time to discuss some great fun in Jackpot World. Jackpot World is an addicting, entertaining, and free-to-play slot game where you can try to win big. It comes with more than 300 slot games with different colors and themes to make sure that you don't get bored of playing it. My personal favorite slot game recently is the new Mario's Fantasy World, which created in collaboration with the incredible Game Ambassador. Our Game Ambassador totally outdid themselves. This isn't your average slots, it's a whole new level of fun. And get this, the jackpot is a whopping 10 trillion coins. 10 trillion. Every spin has me on the edge of my seat, and that rush when you hit the jackpot, pure bliss. I've been playing non-stop, and it just doesn't get old. What are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen to join Mario's Fantasy World today. Your fortune awaits. Some other slot games that I regularly play include the Oriental Dragon and Wicked Fortune, which both come with amazing aesthetics that I would highly recommend. Still not convinced? Well, there is more. Jackpot World also contains some of the most fun and exciting mini-games, such as collecting stamps and feeding pets, which make sure that you can have non-stop fun. Finally, I forgot to mention that you can play Jackpot World anywhere and everywhere, making it perfect to play on the go. Riding a bus to school, waiting in a long line, need to kill some time on the toilet? Worry for no longer, because by scanning the QR code on screen or using the link in the description, you can download Jackpot World today. Who would want to miss out on that dopamine rush of hitting a jackpot? Don't forget to sign up for 60 million free coins as a new player. What a head start. On April 20th of 2024, Roland was minding his own business when something from the underworld decided to pay him a visit. Now Roland is no noob to paranormal experiences, and has actually posted several other encounters on his decently sized channel. He's pretty much known as the Ghost Guy. Even people so used to such a strange world can feel fear in its presence though, and you could tell that this was the case in the upcoming clip.
This way? What the hell? Alright, that just freaking popped out of nowhere. That clown just come out of nowhere. That just... Alright, there's nobody back behind this clown except for the clown itself.
Somehow, some sort of clown figure popped around the corner, and the weird thing is that Roland did not even own something like that. It was extremely random for it to have almost spawned in, and even Roland, who as previously mentioned is no amateur when it comes to these things, paused dead in his tracks. Fortunately for us viewers though, he was not finished with his search. After such a terrifying experience, most people would turn around and accept defeat, leaving the haunted location for good. Not Roland. He was, and still is, a different breed. Whether it was smart or stupid, he wanted to continue his search just in case he caught something just as special, and he did.
Oh, am I dealing with whatever's here existing? Because... Whoa. Alright, you need to chill out with this. Yeah, it's a dad joke, but... Alright, now, Omar was talking about one of these dolls, like, really haunted, and I believe it's back here. Right there. It's just sitting here. It's sitting right in there. And of course,
As he entered the kitchen, the refrigerator started operating by itself, and Roland was confused to say the least. The fact that both doors did this as well was crazy, and he was definitely not going to visit this house again. Rihanna was a Scottish woman who had been pregnant for 7 whole months and loved the idea of having a baby. Her husband was just as excited as she was, but they were having some trouble coming up with names. The father wanted to call the son Gabriel and believed it was a unique yet appealing name. However, the wife believed it to be too feminine in the modern day. She wanted something simple that would not get her son mocked like Freddie. One night when Rihanna was sitting on the sofa talking to her baby, let's call him Freddie, she suddenly experienced one of the spookiest instances of her life, and it was not easy to recover from. Take a look.
Come on, Freddie. I know we call you Freddie, but we don't know what to call you yet. But we like it. Wowzers.
Out of absolutely nowhere, the can of Foster's flew to the ground, and there are quite a lot of theories surrounding this seemingly random event. In case you did not know, pleasurous beverages such as Foster's are not healthy to drink if you are carrying a child. It can lead to things such as deformities and growth issues, so perhaps the spirit was attempting to send a sign to Rihanna that what she was doing was far from worth it. I guess the truth is that we will never know for sure though. On a Tuesday night in Russia, Vladarov was relaxing in his bedroom all alone after a long and hard week at work. His boss had been ridiculously harsh on him for 7 days and piled too much work for him to handle, so all he needed was a lovely night to rest. Unfortunately, he is in a Haunter video though, so of course this dream night did not become a reality.
Пожалуйста, очередная долбежка в окно. Продолжается месяца 3. Примерно каждые 2 недели. Заебал я такие приколы.
For some unknown reason, a weird scraping sound started playing for a long period of time, and Vladarov spent his minutes trying to figure out what the source of it was. Eventually, he discovered that it was from his radiator, but nothing was visibly scraping against it. This had to be the act of a poltergeist. In the following video, a family were playing a huge game of hide and seek after the youngest child suggested that they play it. They were having a gathering due to the death anniversary of the wisest person who held the family's surname, their grandma, and the parents accepted the hide and seek challenge in hopes that it would cheer the before grieving children up a little. As you are about to discover for yourself, this did not work.
ちょっと待ってよ、今見えたぞ。どこだ？こっち？どこですか？どこかな？あ、ここかな？こっちかな？それで。あ、いない。見えた。こっち？いそう。ここら辺？どこかな？いない。どこ？
For a solid 10 seconds, the seeker believed that they had found Coco, her daughter. But sometimes things are not as they seem to be. Moments after spotting Coco peeking around the hole, she came running to her mother with all of her friends, which was very curious, inciting to say the least. Later on in the evening, when all of the other children went home, the mother asked her daughter how she managed to sneak out of the wooden hut so quickly. The response was horrifying. She was hiding on the other side of the boundary. Daviela was a loving mother of two who would put her life on the line in order to make sure that her daughters were safe and pure. It is safe to say, though, that this was put to the test in the next clip that I am going to show to you. It took place on a school night, so the kids were required to go to sleep early for some well-needed rest. However, one instance had the possibility to end all hopes of this. Have a watch.
Cállate, pues, hija, para ver qué onda. Mira esto. Mira, que se mueve una pata. A ver, mira, espérate, pues. Pero mira. No sé. A ver. ¿Qué es?
Unfortunately, being the excellent mother she was, she managed to play off the movement of the toy by making it a joke with her daughter and saying that it was adorable. After she had fallen asleep, though, the phone dial was to one of her friends who knew a lot about these kinds of things. Her friend advised that she should show zero fear in the face of the ghost, and that if it knew she was scared, then all it would do was fuel it. Bravely, she took on this advice, but it would take just 24 hours for the spirit to see if she truly learned. Luckily, Daviella was an intelligent woman and remembered what to do, not even giving the poltergeist a singular piece of attention. Her daughter also ignored the incident because she was too busy dancing away without a care in the world. We have no idea what happened beyond this point, but we can assume Daviella had it covered, as she would do anything for her girls. Baby cameras are an ever-growing product across the USA, and the following video is one of the prime reasons why this is the case. In the early stages of any baby's life, it is important to have eyes on them at all times, in the rare event that something terrible happens, and a rare event definitely happened here. In fact, many would go and describe it as being beyond rare. Now, the wife claimed that the baby willingly crawled under the bed, but that simply made no sense considering that it was on its side and clearly trying to kick away from something. An entity of some sort was under there, attempting to harm the girl, or at least cause some disruption to her sleeping schedule. To further back up this claim, this was not the only time the event happened, and the baby has been pulled under the bed on another occasion. This one was more debatable, but something happened for sure. What do you think? The act of an evil spirit or simply a kid hiding from something? Let me know in the comments. James was a 30-year-old man who had no interest in paranormal activity until around a year before the upcoming recording. You see, he lived a normal life and was very outward about his beliefs regarding religion. He believed that science was the only answer and that a spiritual world is just nonsense. Little did he know that he was about to learn his lesson. Progressively, over the days and months, some odd things started happening in James's house until eventually he could not ignore it for any longer. He contacted a priest to visit his home and bless it, which they did. However, this did not solve anything because the following clip occurred shortly after.
Yo.
For an unknown reason, James kept hearing a rattling sound coming from the cabinet you could see, and he decided to investigate it. It was at this very moment that his gaming chair turned around without any contact from anything, and this obviously shocked him. He truly believed that getting the house blessed was an amazing idea and would save him from the evil entities, but surprisingly, this was not the case, and things only got more extreme.
Yo. yell.
Somehow, a few more objects in this room moved, and this was enough to completely convince James that he had no chance of banishing the entity living in his house. He made his new mission to sell the house off at a good price and purchase a new one closer to his parents. We were not updated on how this mission went. In a past video on this channel, we have gone into the life of Daniel, a young adult who was going through one of the worst times of his life. He and his now ex-girlfriend Kate decided they were going to split rent on a property together to make things much easier. However, she broke up with him shortly after and went back to their parents. This really put Daniel in the mud because he had terms with the landlord that the house would be occupied for a minimum of 6 months, so he was going to be billed for that length of time. As if this was not stressful enough, he was struggling to sleep due to some strange phenomena from the closet. At random intervals, he would hear sounds and see movement from inside there, which was what he wanted whatsoever. The video I am about to show you is the most recent one from his struggles, and it gets bad.
So it just started knocking in the closet again. And actually the doll has moved since yesterday because it was in the corner, like kind of on its back looking upwards, and now it's upright, so that's kind of scary. Let's see if it'll knock anymore. Or it'll just move the shirt in the closet. Hey, if you can hear me, just move it again. Alright. We can actually just go check it out. Because there's no one here. It's not really, it's kind of cluttered, so yesterday it was over here.
Daniel actually managed to communicate with the spirit through moving the shirt, which was quite a smart method of getting around the spirit to human barrier. Surprisingly, the spirit complied with his questions and continued to move the shirt, which proved that there was something present that night, although that being a bad thing. In a very recent video, we witnessed a James experiment which is going to take some additional explaining for those of you who did not watch the content I am referencing. William Sloan was a normal boy who believed that his house was being haunted by a spirit he decided to name James. Every single day, things so far out of the ordinary you would not believe it were happening, and despite William telling his parents all of this, none of them believed a word. In order to counter this, he decided to start running James tests, which were experiments trying to gain evidence of the ghost's existence. This video comes from a rather peculiar test that I believe you should see. Evil spirits are more tempted to tamper with holy books, so William decided it would be smart to place a book discussing religion on his living room bookshelf. As well as this, he put a camera opposite the shelf in order to capture anything that happened to the book on tape, and he caught something all right. Take a look.
Okay. been going over the footage from last night, and it's pretty crazy. And I don't know what's going on, but I tell you, I've been blaming my cats since I got them for pulling my records off the shelf. And I don't know, sometimes it might be them, but it definitely wasn't last night.
First of all, the holy book was on the floor in no time, and this proved William's hypothesis at the start of this experiment. Whatever was in his house was evil. Just to put the icing on the cake, James moved an item on the table all the way across it to confirm that the book did not, in fact, magically fall to the ground. This James test proved a success, and comment if you like them, because I will be sure to include more in future. In the following video, Mackenzie was in her room building her new bed when she suddenly got the urge to look out into the neighborhood. This urge came from a dark feeling that something was up, and her heart continuously assured her that this disturbance was coming from outside. Listening to her urges, she went over to the window and checked up on the streets. It was at this point that something extremely strange caught her eye.
I'm like fucking scared. There is no one standing there, but there's a silhouette, like a shadow of a person. Yeah.
Strangely, the shadow of a human could be seen on the wall, and it was evident that nobody was standing on the street. Mackenzie was very perplexed by this, and felt the dark feelings in her body surge further. She knew for certain that this was not meant to be happening. Fortunately, though, she was not the only person who got a weird feeling from this, and discovered that her entire audience felt the same way, which forced her to produce a follow-up explanation.
Hi y'all. I decided to record this video because when I saw amount of comments and videos and direct messages for the video that I had recorded like on Saturday, so I was shocked. So people who are saying that it was spray painted, no, it was not. I'm gonna show you a video. I'm gonna show what is happening now. People that are saying that I have photoshopped that, damn, it took me 4 tries for me to be able to record this video, because I didn't realize that there are like stories and videos, and in videos you can select like 3 minutes long video. So that's another thing. Even though I'm a white lady in her 30s, and usually in horror movies we are killed first, that day, like 5 minutes after I took that video, I went downstairs to check what is like causing that, because even though I was very scared, I was like, I'm too curious. Nothing could cause that. Nothing. Tomorrow when I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna take a video so that if anyone is interested, like you can check that yourself. But that, like, you know, like a shadow can be either like a direct projection of something, or like it needs to have like a trail from something that is like causing this to have a shadow. I'm like, oh. But yeah, it did not have that. It did not. And also the like the lamppost that was like very, very far ahead, it was not reaching, like I could see like when its shadow was finishing. And also the building that is up on the opposite street, like opposite that building, you know, that shadow, it was not causing that. I have no idea. I do believe in those kind of things a bit, but not as much. And I was so scared. I was not a little bit scared. I was scared. But then I decided to enjoy my bank holiday weekend. And people from UK, I hope you enjoyed the bank holiday. Yeah. So as you see, there is nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah. And that's a lamppost on like next to my neighbors. And it would project like here. So yeah. Nothing.
In this explanation, she broke down the important aspects of the prior clip and debunked all of the allegations that the shadow was not that of a ghost. The main theory was that it was cast by something real and only appeared as a human figure. But after having a look at the street towards the end of the explanations, this theory was shut down immediately. Mike and Sam were two well-renowned ghost hunters around their town, and when I say renowned, I mean it. They would go on expeditions every week desperate to find scientific evidence of the paranormal world, and in the next clip they came very close. It took place in the woodlands next to a highway, where it was rumored that somebody passed away willingly. Their goal on this mission was to capture an interaction with the spirit of that person on camera, to prove that spirits are always watching over their point of death, and it went well in that book.
My name is Mike. This is my friend Sam. Hello. We don't mean any disrespect. We're only here to learn and communicate. This may be your last opportunity to communicate with anyone.
You asked that last question, the camera just died.
Really? Was it charged?
Yeah, it was fully charged. I mean, I just, K2, check the K2.
If you paid very close attention to the ending of this clip, a pale figure could be seen gliding across the camera. This was very weird considering Mike and Sam were the only people on the expedition, and the figure looked way too transparent to be that of a human being. I guess the truth is that we will never really know though. All we do know is that this is the closest that Mike and Sam got to undeniable evidence of the paranormal world. Ghost hunting is a profession carried out by only the bravest of people, and that characteristic can definitely be said to describe Henry, the British hunter that you are about to step into the shoes of. Henry had been ghost hunting for 3 years, up until the point of this clip, and he fell in love with the hobby, becoming one of the hardest people to strike fear into on the planet. However, on the adventure that we are discussing in this video, the spirit got very close to breaking him. It took place at 1 a.m. in an abandoned mansion described as the Place of Nightmares. It was well known around the mansion's area that it was not a normal place, but nobody truly knew why, since the last family to live there did not pass away within its walls. Anyway, that is besides the main point. This mansion was haunted, and Henry was inside it. Let's take a look at some of the events that happened.
This place is fucking
Now, other than the drawer opening at the beginning, you are probably wondering what on earth made this clip worthy of making the mansion a certainly haunted place. The drawer could have easily slipped open by itself, due to a problem with it, so in the eyes of most people, this was far from evidence. Well, I want you to take note of where you saw a fire extinguisher here, on the table at the back, before I play something from a lot later in the video. Ready? Here we go. If you paid enough attention, you would be able to see that the extinguisher moved to a different location in the room. This made no sense because Henry did not revisit the room in between these timestamps, so it could not have been him. A lot more happened in that mansion, but I do not have the time to include it in this video, so subscribe to not miss the future clips from this adventure. In the following video, Daza was selected for the night shift in his local corner store. The staff liked to alternate this shift because it did not feel fair for the person working on it to be paid the same as the rest, because it was obviously a much more demanding time to come into work. At the time of this recording, Daza was finishing off rearranging the shelves and was then going to lock up the store for the night to prevent any robberies from taking place. This was probably the most annoying job in the store because of how many things needed shutting off before the store became closed, but regardless, he needed to do it anyways. It was during this job role that something absolutely jaw-dropping occurred though, and he was fortunate to have noticed it happen because of how quickly it happened.
Yo queriendo grabar mi rutina y pasa esto.
Now I doubt even you managed to understand what happened in this clip, but do not worry, because I will explain it to you. At the timestamp of 37 seconds, a figure could be seen walking past the shelves, and Daza obviously went to check that he had not gotten a final customer to make his life even harder. To his delight, there was no customer on the other side. To his dismay, rather, this meant that whatever passed by must have been a spirit. Since that day, he has always felt an odd feeling in the store, but his manager says he is probably experiencing the placebo effect. Regardless of what he was experiencing, though, it was 100% that he at least encountered the spirit once. 2 days after that incident, the same employee was on a night shift when something equally as suspicious as the last time occurred. It is important to note that he was mopping the entire floor, so it was impossible that what he found was present beforehand. Take a look.
Pensé que era puro pedo que anda una niña.
Acabo de trapear. No me lo van a creer, pero...
Guachen. Si son cuerdas para distinguirlas, son unas patitas.
Ay, güey, no seas mamón, verga.
Shockingly, the floor was covered in footprints, except not ones that you would be likely to see. They were white and flat, as if they weren't real, and Daza explained that even after feeling the prints, they just felt like the floor did normally. This was made even more mysterious when Daza came back to work the next evening to find that they were absent despite him leaving them there so he could show his boss. If that does not scream spirit to you, then I have no idea what does. Paul, also known as Mixed Breed Entertainment due to his YouTube persona, was a happy man who lived with no family barring his beloved dog. He and his dog loved each other to infinity, and he made sure to take good care of it, and it would try to return the favor back. However, sometimes this was impossible, and the upcoming video was definitely a time where this turned out to be the case. Now Paul knew that something was up with his house for a long period of time, but never actually got around to doing something about it. Sure, he filmed some videos to gather evidence, but other than that, nothing, and that continued after the next clip. It took place at 1 p.m., and Paul was explaining his experiences with spirits to the camera in his bedroom. It was at this exact moment that whatever it was haunting him decided to strike again.
We got some stuff on the spirit box and stuff like that, but it's just been... stuff like that. Did you just see that? Did you see that? This drawer. What? Oh my goodness. This drawer just opened all by itself. You seen that, didn't you? You seen that, didn't you? And now...
This event freaked Paul out to the maximum, and he was just about done with the shenanigans after it had finished. The fact that this decided to occur just as he was discussing other paranormal instances made it 10 times worse for Paul, and we can only hope and pray that he has recovered well. These middle-aged men were all sitting around the table discussing their business matters when a huge shock made sure they left the table feeling that little bit more disturbed. The men decided to have their dinner together as a celebration for one of them reaching $3,000 a month on their first business, which they were all extremely proud of. When they were younger, they all wanted to run successful businesses, and none of them were on the wrong track. It was great to see. However, during this excellent dinner meetup, full of nothing but food and good vibes, one of the strangest events of these men's lives occurred. Take a look.
What? Comes in. What? What? What the fuck? I think I saw it's on camera. Have a look. What? What? Oh, I'm so pissed. What was it? Shit. What's going on? It's not. I'm just gonna have to. What are you fucking screaming about and looking white in the face for and got a mouth open at Halloween? What? I swear I lost the fucking shoulder. What? I think that's just broken the floor. What was it? Is that one? It's a tooth or not?
Somehow, a vase fell from the counter onto the floor and shattered to pieces. The man who screamed was actually the one who had reached the $3,000 per month, and it was quite upsetting for the men to see his day being tarnished by something so minuscule. They were all convinced that this was not a ghost and must have just fallen due to them moving too much, but he was not sure whatsoever. He was convinced it was a spirit and tells the story as if it was to this day. We have looked into several clips filmed by a man called Jake on this channel, and his story never seems to end. It all started a few weeks back when he captured a spirit on the CCTV cameras placed in his daughter's room, and ever since then, the paranormal activity in the property has flown through the roof. From unaccompanied footsteps to cupboards opening on their own accord, we have witnessed all sorts of paranormal events unfolding from the camera of Jake, and this is no different in the following video.
So I'm sitting here gaming, and that object up there swung and literally smacked the glass really hard. It was a damn reflection, but look, still moving. Let's catch it before it stops. Look, still moving. Oh no, it moved. Look, it was sitting there, as you can see from the dust. Oh, so it moved. All right. Can you make it swing again? Damn, I really need to wipe off in there. Look at all that shit. Can you make it swing again? Try to open that more. Hello? Can you make it move again? Oh, look. It made them all move now. Nice. Can you make it swing like you did before when it hit the glass? It's going out of focus. Alright, now I said swing it, not move it. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. And I opened that thing, so probably let the damn thing out. Yo, this thing keeps moving. Like nervous and shaking, and I'm lightheaded a little bit. Keeps going out of focus. Surprised them things ain't shaking more, how much it moved. I'm so nervous, man. So lightheaded. I regret this, but can you make it move again? Can you make it move again? So lightheaded. Can you slide it the other way? Keeps going out of focus. Yo. Was that a nickel, a dime, a penny? Look, there's my change. That thing went flying. How did it not hit the glass? See, that's some glitch in the matrix shit. Yo, I gotta rewatch that, cause how to get past that glass and fly behind this stuff. What the fuck is that? That's definitely not what flew out. I don't even know where that went. Or even, that looked like a quarter or a nickel or a dime, because it wasn't no penny. That shit was too shiny for that. I'm like freaking out. See, it keeps going out of focus, man. I think something's in there. I'm good. It can stay in there. Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that again, because I'm a little stumped on how it didn't hit the glass.
This time around, Jake heard some tapping noises coming from the cupboard, and he had to go and investigate what was going on. It was here when he found out that an object inside of it was causing this, followed by other items moving around the place, finishing with a dime. I am certain that we will receive more clips showcasing Jake's troubles though, so subscribe. Throughout the next 4 videos, including this one, we will discuss a man called Roland, who has been experiencing paranormal activity for a long time now. He constantly captures clips regarding the paranormal and has featured on this channel several times, so it only makes sense to include a lot more of him. In order to keep up with his story though, make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss certain parts. Anyways, without further ado, in the video you're about to see, Roland was in his garage trying to find a toolbox when he captured something more than shocking.
Alright. What in the hell was that? There's something up there. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. I heard something over here and then over there. Alright, I feel something in the air right here. My bike looks like it has been moved. It looks like something... What the hell is that? Alright, something just fell over here.
Is there a spirit in here that just made something fall? Was there a spirit that moved my bike?
shit, somebody just whistled. What in the hell?
Weirdly, there was a spirit in his garage messing around with his bike, and he was far from appreciative about this. Things only got worse for Roland from here though, so remember what I said previously. Turn on post notifications so you can keep up to date with the other clips that he entails. In the following video, American video creator Ancha Ninja Japan was conducting a tour of a house for his viewers when the unexpected happened. All he expected to come from this tour was some cash from the TikTok Creator Fund, but what he did end up getting was far from that. And not for the correct reasons either. The rent of the apartment was over $700 per month, which in case you don't know is actually a fairly cheap price. So the creator expected this house to gain a sale, and he would receive a commission too, but little did he know that posting this would do the opposite of attracting customers, because people do not tend to enjoy a haunted house.
Here's what $760 gets you in Fukuoka, Japan. Now today we have a classic Japanese home, starting with a very nice tatami room. This house will run you a monthly rent of 12 man yen. This 4-bedroom home is in a wonderful location. 3-minute walk away from a supermarket, electronics store, and convenience stores. And just a 5-minute bike ride, you are at the train station. So you're easily able to get to the center of the city. Lovely little kitchen area, and lots of kitchen storage with this built-in cabinet. Next, we have this interesting little room here, which could easily be an office or gaming room. And it wouldn't be a Japanese home without very steep stairs. Also, don't forget to check out my apartment tour playlist. And upstairs, we have one more tatami room. If you've never been around tatami mats, they put off a very nice smell. And here we have a room with a hardwood floor. There's not much of a view, but you do have wonderful natural lighting. I lived in Seattle for many years, and I am traumatized, and I need all the natural light I can get. Also, if you're someone with a car or planning to get a car, this house comes with a parking spot. Classic toilet. Also, mind you, the toilet has a sink on the back. I think many people don't realize that. And last, a classic Japanese bathroom. So what do you think of this house? Would you live here?
Now, it took me a few attempts to actually decipher what made this clip so weird when I received it through email. But after watching it back a few times, I noticed something severely unsettling around 5 seconds in. You could see a black figure on the other side of the wall, staring at the creator before disappearing on second sight. Very creepy indeed. Speaking to the paranormal is an ability that many people dream of obtaining, but if you are one of those people, you will take back your wishes after watching this next video. It took place in the room of Lucas, who had recently lost the love of his life to a car crash and had not yet recovered. He left all sorts of memorabilia of her lying around the house in order to help him cope and remind him of the memories, but the last thing he wanted to happen was about to happen. I guess when you understand what caused it, you could say he brought it upon himself.
So this app, WeContact, claims to use AI to connect to the spirit realm and let you talk to ghosts. I am obviously skeptical, but I'm curious. So I thought I'd use it, give it a shot, and record myself. So let's see how this works. Is there a spirit here with me?
Yes, there is a spirit here with you.
Okay. What's your name?
You know my name.
I know your name. Alright, have we met before?
Why are you acting like this? Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. Are you feeling okay?
I'm a little cold, and everything is dark in here. Why do you have the lights out?
It's actually daytime in my house.
I've been calling you all day, baby, and you've been ignoring me. If something's wrong, say so. Let's talk about this. It's making me very angry.
Lucas found one of those highly advertised apps which claimed to have the power to speak to the dead, and in desperation to speak to his significant other, he instantly started the download. It supposedly did not take long to load onto his phone, which was a surprise due to his low data. But after the call, he wished he had never started it. When she told him that she was angry, he was ready to call it rubbish and delete the app. But it was at this moment that her picture fell to the ground. This confirmed that this was real, albeit that was not a good thing. On November 30th of 2018, a middle-aged woman was trying to work out how to do something on her phone when she accidentally opened up the camera app. This was seemingly an event that would not cause any impact, as she usually made mistakes like this when using modern technology. But little did she know that this would cause her phone to become, well, strange to say the least. For the next few days, she continued as normal as if nothing happened, not telling anyone what had happened to hide herself from all of the embarrassment. What she had no idea about, though, was the fact that she had no need to hide because somehow she was already hiding. Confused as to what I mean? Watch the clip.
Y'all, I am in my yard. Watch my face. This is not an app doing this. This is my yard. The church is behind me. Watch my face. Church. You can see straight through me. I kid you not. Look at this. Whoa.
As weird as this may have been, the camera continued to make her invisible when she directed it towards the church, and she was adamant that this was not a filter. Regardless of whether she did accidentally apply one or not, I am not going to give my verdict and invite you to make that decision in the comments. In the last video, we stepped into the home of Raj and his roommate, who had been living a fairly regular life until their nightmare came to the front door. Raj was a huge fan of ancient objects and loved to order them to the house despite his roommate's dissatisfaction. Only time would tell that Raj should have listened. One day, he ordered a mummy, which the owner claimed to be a real practice replica from the ancient Egyptian era. Even though he received no evidence that this mummy was legitimate, Raj was too keen to take the offer, and ever since then, his home has been haunted. The upcoming clip took place 2 days after the mummy incident and was arguably just as terrifying.
You guys hear that? What the hell? Hello? Seriously. Hello?
This time around, some very similar things happened to last time, and the eerie corridor of rooms really lived up to its eerie status. From objects moving alone to a wave of chills, Raj definitely felt an awful presence, and I am sure this will not be the last clip we see that was taken by him on the channel. Edward, a strong believer in the paranormal world, had been experiencing paranormal activities for the past few months. Eventually, he had enough of the repetitive disruptions and decided to keep track of them through using a YouTube channel. Here, he would upload his documentations, whether that be first-hand phone footage or stuff from the security, and gather a binder of evidence for his local church, of which he wished to inform of the incidents. Here is one of the pieces of footage his cameras managed to capture.
Sunday the 19th of July.